व्हाट इज ACCA पर? बहुत ही कंफ्यूजिंग वर्ड है पर, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस रिक्वायरमेंट्स। बहुत सारे लोग मुझसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं ये है क्या। सो टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिसाइफर व्हाट इज ACCA पर, एंड वी विल एक्चुअली स्टार्ट द वीडियो going to the ACCA website where we'll provide authentic information. What is ACCA पर practical experience requirement? वो समझने के पहले हमें समझना पड़ेगा 3 levels of ACCA after completing all examinations. If you complete all examinations, you are an affiliate, not a member, mind you. तो जब तक आप अपना practical experience requirements और ethics module complete नहीं करते हो, तब तक आप member नहीं बनोगे। आपको member बनने के लिए practical experience लेना पड़ेगा। तो without that, you are just an affiliate, you are not a member. Once you have completed practical experience requirement, you become a member. And once you have completed a couple of years, and then you become a fellow of Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, which is a fellow member, which is a senior member. So now, why are we talking about practical experience requirements? ACCA requires you to have 36 months of supervised experience. 36 months का मतलब हो गया 3 years. और इसको हम ये भी बोल सकते हैं, they also mention that you have to complete 30 hours per week for each of these 36 months. Now, बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें हैं जो हमको समझने की जरूरत है. What are the essential guides? Let's try to first understand करना क्या क्या है. I have to have 36 months of practical experience. Now, my question to you is, am I allowed to do it in parts and breaks and pieces? Answer is yes. So you can do it in parts, allowed. Can you do it with multiple people? Answer is yes. So you can do it from multiple sources or multiple places, all allowed. Can I do part fulfillment? Yes, part fulfillment is allowed. And उसके अंदर आप क्या करेंगे, आपके पार्ट के हिसाब से 36 months की जगह 48 months, 52 months, whatever proportional work is also allowed. So you need not have 36 months of rigorous internship which cannot have breaks, which cannot be partially done. It has to be 36 months where 30 hours per week आपको fulfill करना जरूरी है. So आपके 36 months का practical experience can be in parts, can be from multiple people, and it can be proportionately done also. All right. Let's move to the next requirement. परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. ये परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या हैं, इसको हमको समझने के लिए वी नीड टू गो टू दिस साइट एंड लेट्स ओपन दिस पेज एंड लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर द परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. परफॉर्मेंस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आर नाउ ब्रोकन इनटू 2 parts. पार्ट 1 इज कॉल्ड द एसेंशियल लेवल. एसेंशियल लेवल में हम इसको एक्सपैंड कर लेते हैं और समझते हैं हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं. सो देयर आर 5 एसेंशियल स्किल्स: एथिक्स and professionalism, then stakeholder relationship management, strategy innovation, governance, risk and control, leadership and management. These are mandatory. So whenever you go to anybody, any person who can provide you the internship, they have to train you for at least these 5. These are mandatory requirements. Now, post these mandatory requirements are non-mandatory requirements, which is electives. So now you have to choose any 4 out of these 17 options. So you have corporate and business reporting, in which you have 3, then you have financial management, you have 3, management accounting, you have 3, taxation, you have 3, audit assurance, you have 3. So you have total 17 options. Out of these 17 options, you have to choose any 4. That's it. You just choose any 4 plus 5 essential. So you technically do 9. This is your minimum requirement of areas of competencies. You have to work on these competencies and then only you will be allowed to work. All right. We'll go back to our previous slide and come back to this performance objective. Practical experience supervisor. Who are these practical experience supervisors? There are requirements for this. So let's open these requirements. Practical experience supervisor. Who can be a supervisor? A person has to be a qualified accountant member of IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, or member body. What does this mean? थोड़ा सा confusing है. कौन IFAC member है, कौन IFAC member नहीं है, कैसे हो सकता है? Let's try to understand this part. So, a qualified accountant is a member of IFAC. All chartered accountants, whether practicing or not, are technically IFAC members. उनकी membership valid होनी चाहिए. All ACCA members are IFAC members by default. All other accounting professional bodies in the world, if you are a member of those, you are by default mostly an IFAC member. So any such person can sign and be your supervisor. Does that person have to be a practicing accountant or should be in his own practice? Answer is no. He can be doing his own business, he can be doing consultation, he can be doing something else, he can be in a job. And then at that moment, if you are in a job, then that becomes as a corporate internship, which is a corporate PER, and within that job, some CA, ACCA or other member of an accounting body can sign a practical experience requirement, and that is also acceptable. So it gives you a wide variety of flexibility in terms of who can be your supervisor. Of course, he has to be qualified, he has to work closely with you, and he should know what you're working on. So this is your requirement for your supervisors. Let's go back. Let's try to understand recording experience. What happens with recording experience? There is a PER dashboard. Now, what is a PER dashboard? There is an online platform. Once you start your ACCA journey, you get that platform where you can record your practical experience. You need to do 3 steps. Step 1, you have to send an email and register your supervisor and send him a request to accept you as a trainee. So that will be a first step. You go to that platform and then you will be able to send that. So that's step 1. So let me put this down as a step. So step 1 in this is supervisor. You need to appoint the supervisor. The supervisor has to then accept your recommendation, and as a trainee, he has to accept you as a trainee. Number 2 is time. So you have to do time submission. You say from this date to this date, this time to this time, I have completed these many hours. So the supervisor will say, okay, yes, no, maybe. And then 3 are per objectives. So per objective sign off is the 3rd step to this platform. So then you'll say, out of these objectives, I've finished these objectives and these 4 elective objectives, and then your entire dashboard is done. That entire thing, and you have to write explanation, what did you do, how did you do, and how was your practical experience. That will be reviewed by ACCA, and then finally your PER will be either approved or disapproved. So this is the process for recording experience. Let's move to and understand what are approved employers. Now, what are approved employers? ACCA recognizes thousands of companies as approved employers. They are gold or platinum employers who support ACCA trainees, who support ACCA internships. It includes all the top big names like EY, PwC, KPMG, Grant Thornton, you name, and all of them, all banks, all big size companies are already ACCA approved employers. And these approved employers have an advantage. If you are doing your internship or practical experience from any of the approved employers, you do not have to fill in a lot of details. A lot of details and lot of review is crushed down, and that's a fast track process. So there is a fast track process if you work with an approved employer. All approved employers are also supposed to support you during your examination, in your academics, and they're supposed to be your guide and supervisor, not only in practical training but also in the ACCA journey. So ACCA approved employers understand the process, they will be there to support you and guide you, and there's a fast track process for practical experience. And the last part is FAQs. I'll tell you my biggest question that I get for ACCA PER is, are CAs allowed? Answer is yes. Do they have to be practicing? Answer is no. Can you work in a company? Yes. Can you work at multiple points of time? Yes. Can you take breaks? Yes. Are you allowed to switch? Yes. Can you work in different cities, different companies? Yes. Can you move across the world? Yes. Can you work online? Yes. So yes, all of these are the answers, which so many yeses prove that ACCA practical experience is extremely flexible, extremely clear, except for that it requires you to fulfill the PER objectives and meet the requirements and work under a sensible qualified person who is well qualified to train you. These are the only requirements of practical experience. I wish you a fantastic ACCA journey. Do you have more questions about ACCA PER requirement? Do you want to know about GCC also? Do you want to talk to me and stay connected? Then please subscribe to this channel to stay connected. Press the bell icon and please leave your comments and feedbacks. I'll be happy to support you, and stay tuned.